Looks like we are lit live and loud. Hey, replay crew. Catching the beginning of this. Boondock Saints in it. Welcome to the Sunday BS sesh with your boy Metal, TinMan-Metal. And yeah, let the chat get live and active too. Get joining us here. It's going to be an interesting live to say the least. Got episode 63. Sister Krista, welcome. Good afternoon to you. Still morning there, but good afternoon here. Got that episode 63 ready to go. Got the bullet points here to record that after I'm done. Yeah. And yeah. The title of it's going to be Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, if that tells you anything. Why is it I jump, Justin? Howdy, sir. Why is it I jump on to do anything? Whether it be record a podcast, do a live Whiskey Wednesday, something, and then my phone just starts going off. Everybody knows I do this stuff at these times, and then everybody has to talk to me right in those moments. Yeah, they can't tell time, apparently. I'm gonna buy everybody watches. I had to buy myself a new watch this week because mine died and I didn't have a spare battery. Quicker for me to get a new watch than it was to buy a new battery. Sir Bobbert Hamothy, good to see you, sir. I need you to get my email in the description of the channel and email me, Sir Bobbert. It's right there, tinman.tactical.apparel@gmail. It's the link's right there in my channel description. So, Sir Bobbert, hit me up. Hey, nothing wrong with having to catch up. I mean, catching up on podcasts, I catch up all the time on stuff. I'm constantly in a state of like, that was Alabama back in the day, in a hurry to get things done, rush until you get nothing done. Yeah, that's me, racing to go nowhere. Got to prep for a surprise birthday party for big sister, Big Fitty. Oh, we'll tell her that the YouTubes says happy birthday. As I like to say, hippo bird dog to use. But yeah, I'm been very busy, and that never changes. I'm always like this guy that always has like a myriad of things to do, and I get a plethora of things done, but things just keep, for every 2 things I get done, 5 more pile up on me. I need more hours in a day, more days in a week, more weeks in a month, more months in a year to get more stuff done. But we've been working on our family room, theater room, basement. Posted the pictures of the bar here a couple weeks back. Still have to finish up doing that. Bad Dream, welcome, sir. Got to do the bar, and we've been working on like the wall where the TV's going. Might post up a picture of that here later. That's been a project, because when we moved in, there were bookcases and stuff there and all kinds of stuff. We just kind of like threw all our stuff here. Like this room was like literally the catch-all for everything when we moved in here back in 21. ACR, welcome, my brother. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. But yeah, we had the catch-all here, and it's like boxes and random stuff just get piled up, and the bookcases get all packed full of stuff, and the TV was literally sitting on a table, a coffee table that our middle daughter picked up at like one of the stores going out of business. They had a display table. She wanted to get it as a coffee table when she had an apartment. Well, she moved back from the apartment and we got stuck with the table. So I'm like, okay, using it for the TV stand for downstairs, temporary, whatever. Went to put the TV on it, and the TV was too big for the table. So I took some 2x4s and set where the legs of the TV and said it looked ghetto as hell, but it worked. Got the sound bar and everything hooked up, and I'm like, well, we're going to redoing to an actual surround sound anyway. Quinn, welcome, brother. Great to see you, my friend. Great to see you. So we took and kind of just modge podge this thing, and the sound bar, it's going to get taken out for the surround sound to get installed and all that here before too long. So I'm like, well, I put a TV upstairs in the dining room. I got a bonus from work for Christmas a couple years ago, and I took the gift card, went to Walmart, and I bought a TV because I had a little, actually the one that's in here, like a little 19-inch, 20-inch monitor for me. Um, I had that hooked up in the kitchen and fished the wall and hit all the wires and everything. Well, my wife likes it because whenever she loves doing her sourdough and she loves baking and cooking and doing meal preps and stuff, school's going to be back in here in a few weeks. So I got her that big TV, put it at the like a 32 compared to the 19. It's big for there. For her, Pat, good afternoon, sir. Um, yeah, I put that 32 up there because she likes to like put on different shows and stuff when she's meal prepping and stuff for school. So I put that up there. Well, those little TVs, any of the flat screens, they don't have speakers for shit. There's no like depth, there's no quality of sound. There's no drive coming out of those little teeny tiny speakers. So I'm going to take the sound bar from here, move it upstairs to the dining room slash kitchen because it's kind of connected there. And I'm going to put the sound bar up there for her. She can Bluetooth to it. Bobby B, welcome, my friend. Good to see you, sir. I'm going to put that upstairs for her so she can Bluetooth music to it, whatever, put on whatever show she wants when I get the surround sound down here. So we worked on that wall. What we did was take the laminate flooring, like the pieces of like laminate flooring. We found one that we liked that was like a grayish ash stain look to it. And we took that self-adhesive laminate flooring and stuck it up on the wall behind where the TV is going. Kind of like what we did at the bar, but a little bit different color. That one has like barnwood. It's kind of got like the old faded look to it, a little bit of tans here and there. Whereas this one's just straight gray. Put that up, borrowed Vaughn's 18 gauge Brad nailer, had a pack of 5,000 bullets for it, and we went to town. Last week I mounted the TV and put pull strings in the wall and stuff like that. Yesterday, all hell broke out upstairs 10 seconds ago. I'm guessing it's something with the dog. But we took and we put up the laminate. She started it without me a couple days ago and it didn't work out so well, but it looks good. We took and finished up the wall. I redid the electrical in the wall. I ran all our wires through the wall and everything for the future, and got that to that point. Got the soundbar hooked up. We ended up watching Total Recall with Colin Farrell last night, and yeah, yeah, hit that like button, do the thing, share the show, do all that happy stuff we all like in this YouTube's community. And I like to point out I am wearing the McManus Brothers today. Yes, I am wearing the Boondock Saints shirt today. For good reasons. For good reasons. But we got that done. We still have to build a bookcase that goes in the corner. Still got to do the entertainment center, get the surround sound, put up different things on the wall, run the wires and get all that done. But we're good for now. It's back to being functional again. So got a little bit of apple juice today. Oh, I know, right, Pat? Whenever you taking out that thing, oh, and I like the fact that he pays attention to details. He was holding the chick's hand, Jessica Biel's hand in the beginning, and got shot through both their hands. Well, later on, Kate Beckinsale's wearing that thing around. No, I know it. I know it's apple juice, Bad Dream. I know it's apple juice, only the finest, organic, if you will. But she's wearing that thing around her neck that projects the face, Yeah, so she looks like somebody else. Well, he notices in her hand that there's no scar there. And he's like, gotcha, bitch. So I like the fact that like you see some things in that movie that's like, So yeah, you got to pay attention to things. But yeah, it's a cool movie. Cool movie. I got to the point of the day. It was like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I said to the wife, I'm like, okay, things aren't going so well now. My pull string broke, and then I had to refish the wall with fish tape, and it's an insulated wall at that. Concrete block from the foundation and basement and everything separated out, and then it's got the yellow cotton candy in there. Well, when I fished the wall initially, I got on this side where the paper is, and I got behind the paper, and everything is fed there nice. Well, when it broke, yeah, and I had to send the fish tape back down. It was after I sent the brad nails through the wall, putting the flooring up on the wall. Yeah, and so it started hitting brad nails, and it was a pain in the ass, but I got it. Yeah, it's apple juice. It's apple juice. Not that kind, but it's a different kind of apple juice. But sometimes I actually drink apple juice out of a whiskey glass. I just like it. It makes me feel like I'm cultured, yet I'm not partaking in libations. But I do have something else today. I'm with you, twin. I got the dip in, and I got the beer. My summertime favorite. I know. ACR likes his shandies and his hazies and stuff like that in the summer. I like this. I like the Sam Adams Summer Ale. It's my go-to in the summertime. Just like in the fall, Sam Adams Oktoberfest is my go-to. I like that kind of like caramely, kind of buttery in a way feel of the beer versus like I'm not the pumpkin guy that ACR is, and I love him for it. I just don't do the pumpkin stuff like he does. I like it. I just don't do it the way he does. I go to that type of Oktoberfest, not the pumpkin type Oktoberfest. But skull to y'all. Yeah, because it's afternoon here. I don't, some where some of y'all are, it's still morning, but here it's afternoon. So I'm partaking a little bit. Pat, I have done that with magnets. I have also done it with bead chain, like the little pull bead chain. I used to have a roll of it. I would take bead chain and I would take and drop it down the wall because it'd kind of like get bunched up. And then if you just tap on the wall, it'll fall where the paper side of the insulation would be and drop that down through and then pull the bead chain and then pull my wires with bead chain. It worked well. I've done in my line of work and doing the different stuff I've done, I have fished through 3 and 4 story buildings before on common wall without a chase. If you know how to cut in outlets, blank outlets with using flex bits and glow rods, you can do a lot of things. Actually, it was out in Pendleton, Oregon that I helped one of my techs. He was having issues. I was supervisor and I came out to help him with the install because it was going to be one heck of one because they had multiple levels of roof at this place. It was an old hotel way back in the day, had a saloon. They had rooms and stuff, but they turned it into a restaurant and they had like conference rooms and stuff. They like remodeled it. And it was like so many different like patched up things. There was an like old ass elevators, and then they had service elevator for like the dining room and stuff like that. It was really cool place. But yeah, I went and I helped my tech fish in the walls with wires to bring the satellite feeds in for their TVs for their lodging and uh was it the LNI lodging and something or other licensing for the TVs because you can't just put TV on public display. You have to have a special license to put it on public display in waiting rooms and in restaurants and stuff like that. Yeah, man. If it having a beer and a dip is amazing. Having a bourbon and a cigar, ooh, Been a while. I have yet to have a cigar this year, this summer, which I need to change that. I have some really good cigars upstairs. I don't even remember the names of them, but I have them up. Continue that. I need to. Sorry about the internet. It's still kind of to me, but yeah, I still have cigar to smoke this summer. Dude, I'm here. I'm here to tell you, twin. That brain fog with the lower T, man. That sucks. That sucks. It's like you're dumbed down. It's terrible. But yeah, got the summer ale on tap here today. I like me cigars with bourbon. I'm gonna have to change that. Maybe have a fire and go out back and Sister Krista, you be safe. Enjoy the party. You're always doing stuff for a party. You're always doing stuff for a party. That's cool. That's just cool. So I stated whenever I very first started the live here that I have here ready to go my notes for episode 63 of the podcast. I am titling that Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And y'all know what Whiskey Tango Foxtrot means. I ain't got to tell you. It's kind of a topic-ish episode. I'm kind of talking about some of the stuff that's going on as, your favorite bald-headed bearded moron likes to do. Going into it, making some cheeks tight, my typical. But there's some inspiration in this one. One of the folks here in the chat put out a video talking about some things going on. It was only like maybe about a 10-minute video, and he got to the point of things. And yeah, I'm calling you out, Mr. Bad Dream. I watched your video last night and I thought a lot of it, man. I'm glad you took the time to actually sit down and speak on those matters, because not a lot of people are willing to take that soapbox and say what needs to be said and do it from a place obviously of compassion, not from a place of hatred or malice, but from a place like meaning well. And people do have to open their eyes to all this stuff. And I'm going into that kind of stuff here on this next episode to a degree, not everything like what you were talking about, but to a degree in this episode, because there are things going on that we don't necessarily see as a people, because people are distracted in this way or that way or whatever, or my sports ball or my video game or whatever. I think that people need to get their heads out of the clouds. They need to get a grasp on reality that we are currently in what some are calling an omni war, but for years now, I have been calling it a hybrid war. Many different levels, many different types of war that we are not seeing fought with bullets and artillery and missiles and bombs. We're not wearing regular armor for this war. Twin, take care, brother. Always forward, my friend. I'll be talking to you, twin. But we're not seeing a conventional war. We're living through an unconventional war. And a lot of people aren't waking up to that fact. We're constantly under attack every single day, which I talk about in this episode, but so many people are not seeing it. They're not seeing what is reality. And I'm not a doomer. AC and I talk, we're not being doomers talking about this stuff. It's a wake-up call and reality check. You need to see things for what they are. We have eyes to see and ears to hear for a reason. We have this mush inside our heads that we don't really use to the capacity that it should be used for. Do we have a certain hubris about it? Like, oh yeah, we're America. Whoa, 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 whoa. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. We shouldn't become complacent because complacency leads to compliancy and so on. And to address Pat's question in the chat, if Pennsylvania was about to fall into the ocean, where would I settle to start over homestead? I think if I had to go somewhere besides Pennsylvania, I would either pop down to either our neighboring state, West Virginia, or beyond that, maybe down into like the Smoky Mountains. I've always had a thing that I've always wanted to go to the Smokies. I've always wanted to be down around that area and like go that area and visit and see things. And I know there's a lot of like I have family down that way. So I think I might either go to like West Virginia or Tennessee if I had to leave PA. If I had to make an exodus from here, it would either be one of those two places. Yeah, and like Sir Bobbert said, it's going to get worse. And Risky Krisky said it years ago. It's going to get worse before it gets worse. And my friend, I'm here to tell you, it's getting worse. Ever since he very first said that on a Telegram voice chat, and then he started saying it in his videos, it's like it's true. It's true. And we are in a very vulnerable spot in all of history. And I'm getting into all that kind of stuff on the podcast, not necessarily bringing it up in this space. Please tune into that on Spotify. The links here on my channel to follow that. And it's we have allowed this vulnerability. We have become, like I said, complacent, compliant, just, it'll be okay. Everything's fine. It's not. It really isn't. It really isn't. Yeah, I know. He took it down. I believe that he took it down. I was actually just looking at that here the other day. I'm gonna look at it right now. And yeah, still has channels going there, but nah. Like the Geek Squad channel's still up. He's still got that going. And the Minuteman channel, we just killed that one. That one literally I just saw that it got killed. Like there's like all the channels, like I don't even know. My brother's trying to call me. But like even okay, he's still on Telegram, but he's not, none of his channels are going. Let me tell my brother. Tell my brother. Call him right back after I'm done here. But we were given under the Bill of Rights certain unalienable rights that we have actually been endowed with by our Creator, such as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They messed up a word. I will say they messed up a word there. They messed up a word there. Life, yes. Freedom and the pursuit of happiness is the word they should have used, not liberty. Liberty is granted upon us by an entity, higher rank. Parents give their kids liberty to do things. At work, we are given liberty to take an extra 15 minutes for break time, or, we're given the opportunity to cut out a little bit early and still get paid for a full day. We're given those liberties. Ooh, ACR in the shower. Oh my. Yeah, today is the day for doing the running and getting the things, getting ready to go back to work. Yay. But we're given liberty. Liberty is permission. Okay. Whenever Navy or Coasties, ACR, would be going into port, they're given liberty. Liberty is to be free and go do the things and then come back. You're given permission to go do something. Freedom is the opportunity to do as you wish without trespass upon another. Freedom. Freedom versus liberty. I've talked about that a little bit before. But what I'm trying to get at is not enough people are paying attention to the Bill of Rights. We are attacked every day on those Bill of Rights like they don't even matter. And that was the template that the forefathers gave for future governments to follow. Like, you don't mess with this stuff, because if you do, we have granted the future, we the people, to be able to cut fence and sort shit out should you get to that point that they need to do that against you. The right to repeal or replace as we see fit. Probably given that for good reason. That right that Robert just mentioned, the second one in the Bill of Rights, that one's pretty important because it carries the breadth of defending everything else. Say what you need to say, first and foremost. Say what you need to say. Tell them what they need to do. We're supposed to have delegated representatives that speak to the body of the government what we desire, what we need for them to do. However, they work in their own interests. They do not represent the people as they once did. I point that out in this episode too. First and foremost, we are given the right, unquestioned right, to say as what we need to say. First and foremost, try and talk about it and get things out and get things worked out, find a common ground, come to a mutually benefited end, right? Say as we wish, you know. It's pretty straightforward in that First Amendment. Speak freely. Right to assemble. Right to peacefully assemble. Well, whenever you can't use your words, written or spoken, to put said little g in check, then you have that second option. But we're bad if we mention anything about that now. We're bad if we invoke that given right. But Robert just you're in my head today, dude. But instead, what they do is they kowtow and they entertain these billionaires and trillionaires and these elitists, as they call themselves, nothing elite about them. They can't even like buy their own groceries. They can't even like drive their own vehicles, really. They can't even like tie their own shoes. They can't like make their own food. They can't do a damn thing. They have to have people to do everything for them. So how is that being elite? If anything, that's being less than elite. The average man can do things. An elitist cannot do said things. ACR says it. They can't even raise their own kids. They can't even wipe their asses, exactly as Robert said. They lean into them to work the strings. They kowtow to other nations. Yeah. They carry out the other nation's bidding and the corporation's bidding, which is owned by the other nation, not us. The squeaker toy of the House decided they were going to call Congress for the session, and we're going to take an early recess. Bunch of them hopped on flights and shot over to another country versus doing their actually paid job, that what they're paid to do is come talk to their people in their area to find out what their grievances are, what their needs are, what they need done. No, they didn't do that. They went to another country to meet with the other country's agency to see what they need to do. And then they made out with and had sex with a Roman fortress wall while they were over there. That's America first, right? Yeah, of course. Of course. Greatest ally. All that. Okay, I'm tracking. I'm tracking. Bunch of BS is what it is. ACR, they're not always on recess. No, they're not always on recess. They come into session so they can carry out their master's bidding, not ours. They're masters. They're real bosses, as they see it, as our representative republic, constitutional republic country would be set up. That would be us. However, that's not the case. They've disregarded that many years ago. Now they fall under this other entity that is occupying our country and our government currently. And every day, there's examples where it's becoming more evident of such. I don't make it up. I'm not making it up. I'm not looking at it from a this angle or that angle or certain, tinted glasses or anything. Calling it objectively for what it is. We live in an occupied nation. Our government has been occupied by a foreign entity acting in the interests of said foreign entity, not under the America's First agenda. In no way, shape, or form is anything that is currently being done under the previous administration, the one before it, or this one, or several others going back through history. None of them have been acting as a make America great again or doing anything for making things better for you and me and every American man, woman, and child